Chair, I yield 4 minutes to the gentlewoman from Connecticut, a former Teacher of the Year, Ms. Hayes.
The gentlewoman is recognized.
Thank you. I rise in strong opposition to H.R. 5, the Politics Over Parents Act. One of the most dangerous provisions of this bill is the banning of books. Across our nation, books that illustrate our rich history and our diversity are being pulled from library shelves. According to PEN America's Index of School Book Bans, of the 2,500 books banned last year, 41% of these books explicitly addressed LGBTQ themes, and 40% contained prominent characters of color. My colleagues across the aisle say that nothing in this legislation will ban books or censor libraries. If this is true, I invite them to support my amendment, which ensures this legislation will not go into effect until the Comptroller General of the United States can confirm that the bill will not lead to censorship or banning books for children or affect learning outcomes for students. Throughout history, the voices of women, persons of color, and members of the LGBTQ community have been suppressed. Their voices, experiences, and stories have been labeled controversial, over-sexual, and even un-American. As a teacher, you do not get to pick the parts of history you deem worthy to teach. When I was a teacher, I told the entire story, honestly, the good and the bad, and gave students the tools that they needed to participate in their communities in a conscientious and productive way. I'll tell you a personal story. My son is currently reading To Kill a Mockingbird, one of the books on this banned book list. In his initial observation of this book, he said, "Mom, they use the N-word a lot. I mean, a lot, and I don't like it." But it opened the door to broader conversations between me and my son about segregation, Jim Crow laws, and led to him asking some very difficult questions of me. But in his final observation of Harper Lee's novel, he said, "But yet and still, Atticus Finch defended Tom Robinson." Through this complex story, his takeaway was not hateful, hurtful, or angry. It was that even then, good people existed. That's what books do. That's how kids learn, not through censorship. Teachers do not have the autonomy to indoctrinate students. Everything we're talking about here today is already published. Budgets are public, curriculums are public, parents are marching in, being a part of our classes. When I was introduced by the ranking member, he mentioned that I was the National Teacher of the Year. That doesn't happen without parent-teacher partnerships. This bill will not improve educational outcomes. This bill caters to a small group of individuals who seek to impose their worldviews on entire school districts, on my child. I ask unanimous consent to add the text of this amendment to the record. I would strongly encourage my colleagues to oppose this bill, and with that, I yield back.
That will be covered under general leave. The general